Hey you all, welcome to my next video. This look is meant to be number 5 of my painting artist series, and this video is dedicated to Vincent Van Gogh, and he was a famous impressionistic painter as well, and he had quite a unique way to paint his pictures from my point of view. So I combined two of his most well-known pictures, and this one is a self-portrait. He's known for his self-portraits as well, so I took this kind of self-portrait of his, and I took also this painting, which is very famous and called Starry Night, and I combined those two, and I added a little twist to it and just resembled a kind of overlapping effect with this black line, which is faded out like this way. And I also added a straw hat, which I painted myself, and that's the overall look, which was very much fun to make. And I also have 4 other episodes of my painting artist series, which are gonna linked in the info box below in the video if you like to have a look on those. And otherwise, if you are interested in recreating this look, or if you would like to see how I got this look done, keep watching. First of all, I do my guidelines as usual with a white grease paint by Grimas and a brush, and if you prefer you can also take a pencil, of course. And since I'm working with bright colors, it just makes sense to do a white guideline, because white is easier to cover as a darker color, and basically rule of thumb is darken up a pale color is always easier than vice versa. I already sketch out the certain pattern I want to achieve with the overall look later on, and I basically follow the shape of my face here, and I go straight down on the forehead, stay quite round around the eye area, and do a crossing line pattern on the beard area. So this side of my face will basically team up with crossing lines going upwards to round lines going upwards to straight line. And the other side of the face will basically be the same kind of technique, but I will keep all the lines round here because I want to achieve a certain flow to it, so I don't cross any lines with straight lines. I do everything in a certain flow and keep everything round and moving. And this look doesn't need no eyebrows, so I just covered them up with a glue stick, and I have a smooth surface to paint on this time. And I also don't need eyebrows for this look because they weren't visible in the picture as well, so I just blocked them out. So for the paint job, I don't want to really bother you with any numbers, you can look them up in the info box below. I will rather tell you which colors I took, and those are on the self-portrait side a mix of white, yellow, orange, brown and a little green. And all those colors are kind of mixed together and layered, so I also started with the palest color, and then I layered and layered and layered up towards the darkest color to get a little bit of texture and depth to it. And especially on the upper side of the beard, I did very crisp, small strokes with the brush to just cut the beard from the cheek area. What's important about impressionistic painting is that you keep those lines quite thin, sharp and small, and as well use an angled brush for it with a sharp tip. That makes your painting job way easier, and also wipe off the excess product and keep the angle very, very flat. And I forgot to mention that I also took a little bit of red for the lip area and white to shade it in. Basically you follow all the guidelines you did before in the same kind of motion, layer up the colors, go from light to dark, add a little bit more depth here and there, and just follow the flow of your sketch. Especially on cheek and forehead, I worked with a lot of pale yellow, a little bit of darker yellow, tiny little bit of orange, apricot kind of shades, and also a little bit of brown and green. And just as a side note, this look doesn't need any blending, so you can just keep the structure of the lines visible. course, a mix of high and low lighting is also crucial for this look, so I added a little bit of dark color, which means brown, right around the nostrils and also on the socket line, just to keep that kind of depth and give the face a little bit more structure. And for a proper look, you don't want to neglect your ears as well. Let's skip to the other side of my face. I used white, yellow, light blue, dark blue and black, and of course every shade in between. I'm mixing them together, and important here is to keep the flow of the paint job. When having a look on the actual painting, there is no straight line, so you want to be aware of that. And all the lines are wavy and they are round and never cross each other, so you want to be careful and keep the special flow to the canvas, otherwise the effect won't work. I might get a little frustrated about this paint job, and here is why. Vincent was quite an illusionist when it comes to painting, especially this particular style, and those paintings of his work from far away. So you have to see them from far to really get an impact. Seeing them from very close can be confusing, so if you have the feeling that you are not painting right, step away from the mirror and have a look again, and you will see that it works. And I could catch a glimpse on that when I was in Amsterdam at the Van Gogh Museum, where Starry Night is also displayed, and it's just amazing to see this huge painting with all the thick oil paint on the canvas. It's great. And I go on with the paint job here, and I started with yellow and now I'm doing blue. And I started with the pale blue, as always. Pale to dark colors is crucial, and I went even darker and darker, layering all the colors again as on the other side, and as well do round shapes. And especially this side of the face is a perfect example for complementary colors and how they work together. Blue and yellow bring each other out even more. The blue and the yellow, especially the yellow, comes out really bright and it really pops, so complementary colors are always lovely. And again, I apply the color randomly all over the face where I feel it being right, and those lines are thin and small. Don't be afraid to layer the colors. More is more, and if you need to add more, you add more, because that is what brings the actual painting to life. At last it's time to paint the overlapping effect, and first I took black water-based color by Grimas as well and painted a very crisp line with the black all the way down my face. To really achieve the overlapping effect, I take a black eyeshadow as well, and I retrace the black line I did before, and then I took a blending brush again and blended away the very edge of the line towards the yellow. And now I have this kind of overlapping effect, which looks like the blue painting would cast a shadow over the yellow. That's what you want to achieve at the end. For the final blending, you want to take a clean brush because you don't want to add more black, you just want to have a clean fade. And it's done. I cut out the sideburns by painting them black, and I also added a hand-painted straw hat to the look. And this is the final look for you, and if you like it, please support me with a thumb up. Feedback is always welcome in the comment section below. For further information on Vincent Van Gogh, the products I used, contact details on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram or Snapchat, have a look in the info box as well. And thank you very much for watching. I see you next time. Bye bye.